Hello, my friends. Welcome back. I'm Clara. Today, we will learn 50 polite phrases that will help you sound respectful, professional, and incredibly kind in everyday conversation. It's a power that can open doors for you in your career and help you build beautiful connections. First, let me ask you something. Have you ever said something in English and you saw a strange look on the other person's face? Maybe you worried, did I say something wrong? Did I sound rude? This is a very common fear for English learners. Don't worry, it is not your fault. Often, the polite phrases in your native language do not translate directly into English. What is normal and polite in your culture might sound too direct or even demanding in English. The good news is, learning to be polite is very easy. Once you know these phrases, you will feel confident and relaxed in any situation. I have organized these 50 phrases into 5 common and sometimes difficult situations. For each phrase, I will explain it clearly, explain why it is polite, and then we will practice it together. Are you ready? Let's begin. Our first category is about how to ask for something. Instead of being direct, these phrases soften our requests and show respect. Phrase number 1. Would you mind? Would you mind? This is an incredibly polite way to ask someone to do something. The phrase, would you mind, literally asks, would this be a problem for you? This shows great respect for the other person's time and feelings. It is much softer than saying, can you? For example, you can use this frame for many things. Would you mind closing the window? Would you mind passing the salt? Or would you mind speaking a little slower? Now, let's practice with one example. Repeat after me. Would you mind closing the window? Excellent. Phrase number 2. I was wondering if you could. I was wondering if you could. This is a very gentle and indirect way to ask for help. It is perfect for asking a boss, a professor, or someone you don't know very well. Using the past tense, I was wondering, makes the request sound less like a demand and more like a humble thought you just had. You can use it like this. I was wondering if you could help me with this problem, or I was wondering if you could give me some advice. Now, let's practice. Repeat after me. I was wondering if you could help me. Great job. Phrase number 3. Could I possibly? Could I possibly? Adding the word possibly to a request makes it sound extremely polite and considerate. It signals that you know your request might be an inconvenience and that you will completely understand if the answer is no. It adds a layer of humility. For instance, could I possibly borrow your pen? Or could I possibly leave a few minutes early today? Now, your turn to practice. Repeat after me. Could I possibly borrow your pen? Perfect. Phrase number 4. I would be grateful if you could. I would be grateful if you could. This is a more formal and very professional way to make a request, and it is excellent for writing emails. It shows appreciation before the person even does the task, which is very powerful. It tells them you will be thankful for their effort. You might write in an email, I would be grateful if you could send me the report by Friday. Or, I would be grateful if you could look over my application. Now, let's practice saying it. Repeat after me. I would be grateful if you could send me the report. Wonderful work. Phrase number 5. Is there any chance? Is there any chance? This is another very polite, indirect phrase for making bigger requests. It's like asking if it is even possible for them to help, which takes all the pressure off them. It's great when you feel like you are asking for a big favor. For example, is there any chance you could finish this by tomorrow? Or, is there any chance we could reschedule our meeting? Now, let's practice with this one. Repeat after me. Is there any chance you could finish this by tomorrow? You've got it. Phrase number 6. I hate to bother you, but I hate to bother you. This is the perfect phrase to use when you need to interrupt someone who looks busy. It acknowledges that you are interrupting them and that you are sorry for it. This makes them much more willing to listen to your request. For example, I hate to bother you, but could you tell me where the manager's office is? Now, let's try it. Repeat after me. I hate to bother you, but do you have a minute? Fantastic! Phrase number 7. Whenever you have a moment. Whenever you have a moment. This phrase shows extreme respect for someone's busy schedule. It tells them, your time is important. Please do this only when you are free. It is the opposite of demanding something right now. It is perfect for asking a busy colleague for help. You can say, whenever you have a moment, could you look at this document? Now practice with me. Repeat after me. Whenever you have a moment, could you give me a call? Sounds great. Phrase number 8. I'm not sure if this is possible, but I'm not sure if this is possible. Similar to is there any chance, this phrase lowers the expectation for a yes. It's a humble way to introduce a difficult or big request. It prepares the listener that what you're about to ask might be challenging. For example, I'm not sure if this is possible, but I was hoping to take my vacation next week. Now your turn to practice. Repeat after me. I'm not sure if this is possible, but could we extend the deadline? Well done. Phrase number 9. Would it be okay if I? Would it be okay if I? This phrase is used to ask for permission in a very polite way. You are asking if your action will cause a problem for the other person. It is much softer than can I? For example, would it be okay if I used your phone to make a quick call? Or, would it be okay if I switched seats with you? Now let's practice. Repeat after me. Would it be okay if I joined your group? Excellent work. Phrase number 10. Do you mind if I? Do you mind if I? This is very similar to would you mind? It's another extremely common and polite way to ask for permission. Do you mind literally means, does this bother you? For example, do you mind if I open the window? Or, do you mind if I ask you a question? Now practice with me. Repeat after me. Do you mind if I sit here? Perfect. Fantastic work on our first category. You are already sounding more polite and professional. Now, let's move on to a very difficult situation, how to disagree respectfully. Phrase number 11. I see your point, but. I see your point, but. This is the golden rule of disagreeing politely. You must first show that you have listened to and understood the other person's idea. The phrase, I see your point, validates their opinion before you present your own. It turns an argument into a discussion. For example, I see your point about the budget, but I think we should also consider the timeline. Now, let's practice this important phrase. Repeat after me. I see your point, but I have a different idea. That was perfect. Phrase number 12. I'm not so sure about that. I'm not so sure about that. This is a gentle and indirect way to say, I don't agree, or I think that's wrong. Instead of attacking the idea, you are expressing your own feeling of uncertainty. It is much softer and invites more discussion. If a colleague says, this is the best solution, you could gently reply, I'm not so sure about that. Have we considered other options? Now, practice with me. I'm not so sure about that. You're doing great. Phrase number 13. I see it a bit differently. I see it a bit differently. This is a very elegant and professional phrase. It doesn't say, you are wrong. It says, we have different perspectives. It frames your disagreement as simply a different point of view, which is very respectful in a team or academic setting. You can use it like this. That's an interesting analysis. I see it a bit differently. For me, the main issue is. Now, your turn to practice. Repeat after me. I see it a bit differently. Excellent work. Phrase number 14. With all due respect. With all due respect. This is a very formal phrase that you should save for when you need to disagree with someone who is much more senior than you, like a high-level boss or a respected professor. It signals, I respect you and your position, but I have a different opinion on this specific topic. For example, with all due respect, Director, I believe the data shows a different trend. Now, let's practice this formal phrase. Repeat after me. With all due respect, I think we should reconsider. Very well done. Phrase number 15. I understand where you're coming from. However, I understand where you're coming from. However, this phrase is a masterclass in empathy. It tells the other person, I understand your feelings and the reasons for your opinion. This validation is powerful. After you show you understand them, they will be much more open to hearing your point of view. You might say, I understand where you're coming from. However, we also need to think about the long-term costs. Now, practice with me. Repeat after me. I understand where you're coming from. However, I have some concerns. Perfect. Great job navigating that difficult section. Now, let's look at another important skill, how to interrupt someone without being rude. Category 3, interrupting politely. Interrupting is sometimes necessary in meetings or fast conversations. The key is to do it respectfully. Phrase number 16. Sorry to interrupt, but. Sorry to interrupt, but. This is the most classic and useful phrase for interrupting. You are apologizing for the interruption right at the beginning. It's clear, direct, and polite, and can be used in almost any situation, formal or informal. For example, sorry to interrupt, but I have an urgent phone call. Or, sorry to interrupt, but could you explain that last point again? Now, let's practice this essential phrase. Sorry to interrupt, but do you have a minute? Wonderful. Phrase number 17. May I add something quickly? May I add something quickly? This phrase is perfect for meetings. You are asking for permission to speak, which is very polite. The word quickly is important because it shows you respect everyone's time and you promise not to talk for too long. You can use it when you have a small but important piece of information to add. Now, let's try it. May I add something quickly? Great job. Phrase number 18. Excuse me, do you have a moment? Excuse me, do you have a moment? This is the best way to start a conversation with a colleague who looks busy or focused. Instead of just starting to talk, you are politely checking if it is a good time for them. It shows you respect their work and concentration. For example, excuse me, Sarah, do you have a moment? Now, your turn. Excuse me, do you have a moment? You've got it. Phrase number 19. If I could just jump in for a second. If I could just jump in for a second. This is a very common and slightly more informal phrase used in fast-moving group discussions or meetings. Jump in means to enter the conversation. Saying for a second shows you will be brief. You can say, if I could just jump in for a second, I think the marketing data is relevant here. Now, practice with me. Repeat after me. If I could just jump in for a second. Excellent. Phrase number 20. Before we move on, could I ask a question? Before we move on, could I ask a question? This is a great phrase to use in a presentation or a meeting when the speaker is about to change topics. It politely stops the conversation from moving forward until your important question is answered. It is much more polite than just shouting out your question. Now, let's practice. Repeat after me. Before we move on, could I ask a question? Perfect and polite way to say, I didn't hear you, or I didn't understand you. It is much better than a simple what? The word quite softens it and makes it sound very natural. If someone speaks too fast, you can simply say this. Now, repeat after me. Sorry, I didn't quite catch that. Perfect. Phrase number 22. Could you say that again, please? Could you say that again, please? This is another direct but very polite way to ask for repetition. The magic words are could you at the beginning and please at the end. It is always okay to ask someone to repeat themselves if you are polite about it. You can also be more specific. Could you repeat the phone number, please? Now, practice with me. Repeat after me. Could you say that again, please? Sounds great. Phrase number 23. So, if I understand correctly. This is a brilliant phrase for avoiding misunderstandings. You listen to what someone says, and then you repeat their idea back to them in your own words. It shows you were listening carefully, and it confirms you have the right information. For example, so, if I understand correctly, you need this report by 5 p.m. Now, your turn. Repeat after me. So, if I understand correctly, the meeting is on Tuesday. Fantastic job. Phrase number 24. Just to clarify. Just to clarify. This is a short and professional way to say that you are about to ask a question to make sure you understand something perfectly. It is very common in workplace conversations. You can use it like this. Just to clarify, are we meeting in person or online? Or, just to clarify, you need me to call the client? Now let's practice. Just to clarify, the deadline is this Friday? Excellent. Phrase number 25. Pardon me? Pardon me? This is a very short, simple, and polite way to ask someone to repeat what they just said. It is a bit more formal than sorry and is a good, safe choice in almost any situation. If you don't hear something, you can just say this with a questioning tone. Now, practice with me. Pardon me? Well done. You are doing wonderful work. Learning to navigate these tricky situations is a sign of a truly great communicator. Now, let's move on to our next important category. Category 4. Declining invitations and saying no. Saying no can be very difficult. These phrases will help you decline an offer politely without damaging your relationship with the other person. Phrase number 26. I'd love to, but. I'd love to. This is a warm and kind way to say no. You start by saying something positive. I'd love to, which shows you appreciate the invitation. Then you give your reason. This softens the rejection and makes the other person feel good. For example, I'd love to come to the party, but I have to work that night. Now, let's practice this important phrase. Repeat after me. I'd love to, but I'm already busy. Perfect. Phrase number 27. Thank you for thinking of me, but. Thank you for thinking of me, but. This is another wonderful way to decline an offer, especially a professional one. It shows that you are grateful for the opportunity, even if you cannot accept it. It's very respectful. You might say, thank you for thinking of me for this project, but my schedule is full right now. Now, practice with me. Thank you for thinking of me, but I can't. Excellent work. Phrase number 28. I'm afraid I'm not available. I'm afraid I'm not available. The phrase, I'm afraid, is not about being scared. In polite English, it's a soft way to introduce bad news or a refusal. This phrase is a formal and clear way to say that you cannot attend an event or meeting. For example, I'm afraid I'm not available on Tuesday for the meeting. Now, your turn. I'm afraid I'm not available. Great job. Phrase number 29. That sounds lovely, but. That sounds lovely. This is similar to I'd love to. You start by giving a compliment about the invitation itself. This is a very friendly and warm technique. Your dinner party sounds lovely, but we will be out of town that weekend. Let's practice it together. That sounds lovely, but I can't make it. You've got it. Phrase number 30. I wish I could, but. This phrase strongly communicates your desire to say yes, even though you have to say no. It tells the other person that you are genuinely disappointed that you cannot join them. For example, I wish I could join you for lunch, but I have another appointment. Now, let's practice. I wish I could, but it's not possible. Wonderful. I'm sorry, but I'm not able to. I'm sorry, but I'm not able to. This is a clear, simple, and direct refusal that is still very polite. It's a good all-purpose phrase for when you need to say no to a request for help or a favor. For example, if someone asks for help, I'm sorry, but I'm not able to help you with that right now. Now, practice with me. I'm sorry, but I'm not able to. Perfect. Phrase number 32. My schedule is a bit tight. My schedule is a bit tight. This is a good professional phrase to explain why you are saying no without giving too many personal details. A bit tight is a polite way of saying very busy. For example, I can't take on another project right now. My schedule is a bit tight. Now, your turn. Repeat after me. My schedule is a bit tight. Excellent. Phrase number 33. I'm honored, but I have to decline. I'm honored, but I have to decline. This is a very formal and respectful phrase used when declining a big opportunity, like a job offer or an invitation to be a speaker at an event. I'm honored shows deep appreciation. Let's practice this formal phrase. Repeat after me. I'm honored, but I have to decline. Great job! Phrase number 34. Maybe another time. Maybe another time. This is a great phrase to add after you say no. It softens the rejection and shows that you are open to invitations in the future. It keeps the relationship positive. For example, I can't come tonight, but I'd love to maybe another time. Now, let's practice. Repeat after me. Maybe another time. Well done. Phrase number 35. I'll have to pass this time. I'll have to pass this time. This is a slightly more casual, but still polite way to say no. To pass on something means to decline an opportunity. The phrase this time suggests you might be interested in the future. Now, practice with me. Repeat after me. I'll have to pass this time. Fantastic. Fantastic. I'm not really a fan of. I'm not really a fan of. This is a soft and indirect way to decline an invitation because you don't like the activity. Instead of saying, I hate horror movies, you can say, I'm not really a fan of horror movies. It expresses a personal preference without criticizing the activity itself. Now, let's practice this one. Repeat after me. I'm not really a fan of spicy food. Perfect. Phrase number 37. I think I'll sit this one out. I think I'll sit this one out. This is a casual phrase used when a group is going to do an activity, but you don't want to participate. Sit this one out means to not join this time. It's friendly and low pressure. For example, you all go karaoke. I think I'll sit this one out. Now, practice with me. I think I'll sit this one out. Excellent work. Phrase number 38. My plate is full right now. My plate is full right now. This is a professional and metaphorical way to say, I am too busy. Imagine your plate is full of food. You cannot add any more. It's the same with your work. It clearly explains why you must say no to a new project. You can say, I can't help with that project. My plate is full right now. Now, your turn. My plate is full right now. Great job. Phrase number 39. I'm going to have to say no for now. I'm going to have to say no for now. This is a very clear but polite refusal. The phrase, "I'm going to have to," softens the no, making it sound like a reluctant decision rather than a harsh rejection. Adding "for now" leaves the possibility open for the future. Now, let's practice. I'm going to have to say no for now. You've got it. Phrase number 40. Let me check my calendar and get back to you. Let me check my calendar and get back to you. This is a perfect phrase when you are not sure if you are available and you don't want to say yes or no immediately. It gives you time to think and shows that you are taking the request seriously. Now, repeat after me. Let me check my calendar and get back to you. Wonderful. You have done an amazing job with that difficult category. Now for our final and very important one, how to apologize sincerely. Phrase number 41. My apologies for the delay. My apologies for the delay. This is a formal and professional apology, perfect for work emails or situations. It is a stronger and more formal version of "sorry I'm late." My apologies is a very respectful phrase. For example, in an email, "My apologies for the delay in responding." Now, let's practice. Repeat after me. My apologies for the delay. Excellent! Phrase number 42. I sincerely apologize. I sincerely apologize. Adding the word sincerely makes your apology sound very heartfelt and genuine. You should use this for more serious mistakes. It communicates that your apology comes from the heart. You might say, I sincerely apologize for the mistake in the report. Now, practice with me. Repeat after me. I sincerely apologize. Great job! Phrase number 43. It was thoughtless of me. It was thoughtless of me. This is a very mature apology. It means I acted without thinking about your feelings. It shows that you have reflected on your mistake and understand why it was wrong. For example, I'm sorry I forgot your birthday. It was thoughtless of me. Now your turn. Repeat after me. It was thoughtless of me. Perfect! Phrase number 44. I take full responsibility. I take full responsibility. This is an incredibly powerful and respectable phrase, especially in a professional setting. When something goes wrong, a good leader doesn't make excuses. They take responsibility. This phrase shows maturity and integrity. You can say, there was a problem and I take full responsibility. Now, let's practice this strong phrase. Repeat after me. I take full responsibility. Wonderful work! Phrase number 45. I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to. This phrase is used to explain that your intention was not to cause harm. It is often followed by what you did wrong. It helps the other person understand that your mistake was not malicious. For example, I didn't mean to hurt your feelings, or I didn't mean to break the glass. Now, let's practice. Repeat after me. I didn't mean to cause any trouble. You've got it. Please don't be mad at me. Please don't be mad at me. This is a very human and personal way to apologize, best used with friends or family. It shows your vulnerability and that you care deeply about the other person's feelings towards you. Now, let's try it. Repeat after me. Please don't be mad at me. Fantastic! Phrase number 47. That was my fault. That was my fault. This is a direct, clear, and honest way to accept blame. It is similar to, that was my mistake. It's a simple phrase that shows you are not making excuses. For example, I'm sorry we are late. That was my fault. I misread the time. Now, practice with me. Repeat after me. That was my fault. Sounds great. Phrase number 48. I promise it won't happen again. I promise it won't happen again. A good apology often includes a promise for the future. This phrase tells the other person that you have learned from your mistake and you will make an effort to change your behavior. It helps to rebuild trust. Now, your turn. I promise it won't happen again. Well done. Phrase number 49. I hope you can forgive me. I hope you can forgive me. This is a humble and sincere way to end an apology. It shows that you understand that forgiveness is a gift from the other person, not something you are entitled to. Now, let's practice. Repeat after me. I hope you can forgive me. Excellent work. Phrase number 50. How can I make it right? How can I make it right? This is perhaps the most powerful apology of all. It moves beyond words and into action. You are asking what you can do to fix the problem you created. This shows ultimate responsibility and care. Now, practice our final phrase. How can I make it right? Amazing job today! And there we are. 50 phrases that act as your secret code for politeness in English. You have done an incredible job today. You practiced, you used your voice, and you learned the tools that build respect and trust. Remember, being polite is not about being weak. It is about being strong and confident enough to show respect to others. It is a sign of a truly advanced English speaker. I want you to choose just one category from today's lesson, maybe disagreeing politely, and try to remember just 1 or 2 phrases from it this week. When a situation comes up, see if you can use it. That is how you turn learning into a real-life skill. If this lesson gave you the tools to feel more confident, please give this video a like. It means the world to me and helps our community grow. And be sure to subscribe to Easy English Tales for more lessons to help you speak with confidence and kindness. Thank you for your wonderful effort today. You are not just learning a language, you are learning to be a great communicator. And that is a beautiful thing. I will see you in the next lesson. Bye for now.